This is something that could change everything and everybody in by small measures.
Yeah.
We could do tremendous benefits, but only if we acknowledge what's happening, that the bad bacteria in our food is causing inflammation. And so every bite of food is triggering our immune system. This is a great way to live a short and unhealthy life. And I think a lot of us are dealing with that now. And, this is something that's so preventable, but it's not out there, and this is absolutely not mainstream. There's nobody. This is why it's so important that we have these conversations, and people who have a direct experience with this that can share this with others and say, hey, this worked for me. This worked for my son. This is something that we could look at and other people could get, because there's a lot of people who are desperate. I deal with a lot of people who have randomly found out about fermented foods but are dying, and you can see it. They're extremely thin, extremely pale, and then they talk about how they haven't had a good meal.
Not
Jumping jack time.
Yeah. No, they haven't had a good meal. They haven't had a good meal. They haven't digested a proper meal in years. That everything causes diarrhea. Everything causes acid reflux. These are all preventable, but people will think, oh, that's my system. That's me. That's what's going on with me. That defines me, as opposed to that's the condition I'm in.
Yeah. No, you got me excited to go back into all
About to
this.
say.
And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to get those books back out, and we're going to.
We'll start chopping cabbage again.
I mean.
Oh, well, one of the things I tell everyone is that the trick to a gut healthy diet is not large amounts of fermented foods.
No, you do it in small.
A very small amounts. It's large amounts of raw and partially cooked vegetables.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the real secret to a gut healthy diet. And if you think about it, like that's always kind of what's defined healthy living is a healthy diet. Healthy diets are defined by eating lots of vegetables. That's how you can tell someone has a healthy diet, is that when they sit down, there's a big chunk of vegetables that they're eating. And maybe they're steamed, maybe they're sauteed, but they're not turned into an Impossible burger. They're not, reduced to starch and then fried.
Going back to our son's situation, he's a teenager now, and he prefers vegetables, and he will leave the other stuff alone.
Really will, yeah.
He really does. He doesn't want all of that. He wants fennel. He loves fennel. He can eat a whole thing of fennel. His palate goes for the better food. It's just amazing how he knows what's going to make him sick and what's not. All these years of fighting him came to he wants he wants his soup. And he begs for his soup.
And that being said, what I was talking about when I go off and I'll have one of my precious donuts, I'm having an emotional craving. It's an emotional reaction I'm having. And then when I bite into it, the physiological side of it, well, that's not what I was looking for at all. But
it's a mental.
With your son, he doesn't have the emotional baggage with food. He doesn't have the commercial making pizza sexy. He doesn't have these things going on. He just has this makes me feel this way, as opposed to brownies are delicious. Everyone's eating brownies, blah blah blah.
Yeah, he still does that.
He still
wants the chocolate. He still wants the.
But not as much. But
it's not like it was for sure when he was younger.
But he might get one. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, he's not in there fighting for it. He won't fight you for it, or he won't argue. I mean,
but then he learns the consequences if he does. That really didn't. Like this week, he got into. Mommy was in a rush, and I gave him pasta with milk product, and we paid a price.
We paid the price for that.
We paid a price for that. And then the next day, he's like, nope, I'm cleaning my gut up. No. He decided he didn't want that anymore. We all decided we didn't want that stuff anymore.
Right. And so you'll see that kind of reaction where one very bad meal, like say a pasta with some sort of cheese sauce or something, will cause an immediate reaction to it.
But if you've healed your gut, you can overcome it really quickly.
Right. So it's a short-term thing, as opposed to
compared
that month
to
you were talking about, where a crumb of a cookie would give him a month-long reaction. Now he can a day, 2 days, 3 days, something of that nature.
Yeah.
And that's the resilience of the gut. Once it's strong, then it rebounds very quickly. If you think about the way bacteria replicate, it happens over hours, and when each one of them is dividing, you can have a blooming effect for just one meal.
Yeah.
You can have your gut bacteria blooming, and then it will go back down to normal things. But once you feed it and it replicates in a healthy manner. Well, that was the interview. It cut off rather abruptly because I did not realize that my phone had died. We only went on for another minute or two. We were wrapping it up, and I want to really thank the parents for sharing their story. This was so inspirational. I don't know if y'all got the same thing out of it, but boy, afterwards I was so pumped up. I was so inspired, and re-editing and re-watching these videos has really just inspired me again. And I would love to talk to more people who have a similar story. Please contact me. Scotty'sFoods.com has a comment section. Please tell me that you want to share your story, and I would love to talk and have a conversation with you. Again, thanks a ton for the wonderful interview and the conversation we had, and also just the experience of learning all about their son. Thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate it. See you next time.